and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to Spastic Belgian Chompers. I am very attractive, and with me, as always, is the man who invented the lick spittle, Michael Magus.
Oh, is that among my inventions now? That's excellent. It's good to know. We are here for the sixth round of the 7-round 3D Speed Championship, our Wednesday series, which will finalize in 2 weeks' time at Silverstone. So, some hardware might be given out here today. Right, let's give us the quick championship rundown, shall we?
No, do it slow.
Leading the championship by 7 points is Matthew Higgs. He is followed by William Murr on 261 points. Then it is Andrew Burke on 247. Then it is Jeff Wentworth on 218. I would say those are the 4 guys still kind of vying for the championship. I'd say really it's the first 3. Wentworth is mathematically in it. That's about it. Rounding off the top 10, we have Paul Riccobeni, Michael Magus, Dominic Turcotte, Dave Nelson, Zach Martin, and Andreas Lasutis. In the Teams Championship, it is TalkSport leading with 505 over GPX Racing, which has 448 and 444 for Tech 1. I would say TalkSport is a massive advantage. They are still fielding 4 cars on the regular, whereas Tech 1 and GPX are both down to just 2 cars. Angry Panda in 4th place, followed by Send It Nation. That is your top 5. Then we have the Bronze Trophy, which is currently being led by Andreas Lasutis, who's won the last 2 bronze races, and is leading Benjamin Adamian 133 to 119 with Diego Alonso on 113. I don't think Diego is here today, and I know David James, who's in 4th place, isn't here. So big chance to really kind of wrap that title up in a nice little bow. In the silver category, Michael Magus leads with 75 points to Jake Keckley's 43. Then it's Ayrton Tobin on 39, Dan French and Jake Northrup on 36 apiece. So chance to bring home the title there as well. We are in the max waiting time period of the qualifying session. Matt Higgs currently with the pole position in all Porsche front row with Dan French, Jeff Wentworth, and William Murrah, all Mercedes row 2. Marcel Letelier, Mika Watt, Max Simmons, Michael Magus, Andrew Burke, and Paul Riccobeni right now, your top 10. But we do have Guillermo Martinez out here trying to make a name for himself, currently 13th place in the Ferrari 488 Evo. And we'll see if he can move up in the field at all here, currently behind Benjamin Adamian and Guillermo Taylor. You can see the cars getting the checkered flags as they are out of time and unable, as well as anyone that is in the pits right now. Dave Nelson is trying to improve on his lap time, currently 15th place for the Shadow Project McLaren liveries. And here he goes through the bus stop on the way to the finish line, and hopefully improving his lap time, but we will see. There it is. Did improve, but did not move up on the grid. So Byron, are you looking forward to Wet Spa? Because Wet Spa usually brings a little bit of the carnage, a little bit of the put him in the wall syndrome.
Well, I figured if it was a spa, then they would have to have like at least a steam room and a sauna, right? Otherwise, what are you doing?
So we're really waiting. We're waiting for William Murr to finish up here. This is the smallest grid we've had this season, only 25 cars. Some of that could be that people are being scared off by the wet weather. Though I do believe it is just that there's a couple of drivers who are currently unavailable due to various reasons. We have a driver with a power outage. We have a driver going through some medical problems. We have a driver whose pedals broke. So really it's just kind of that buildup of just bad luck that happens usually at some point during the season. I do have to point out that Matt Higgs is going to be getting a penalty for bringing the wrong livery to the race.
God damn it. It's not his fault. He's colorblind and doesn't recognize shapes, patterns, or speeds.
Or team names, apparently. So
can't spell nothing. Is he from Ontario?
He is.
Makes sense. It's all that
I saw his car during the practice session, and I'm like, that doesn't look like the right car. And then I checked the replay after the race. I'm like, it is the wrong livery. Congratulations, Higgly Wiggly. That's a penalty. And it's a custom livery too, so that's just rude. So those who are not aware, the ACC custom liveries cause a bit of a glitch in the server, a bit of a processing spike moment, and unfortunately, that means that they're kind of unappealing to make use of. But we have one presence here today. Running down the grid further, Taylor, Adamian, Martinez, Cheney, Nelson, Keckley, other Cheney, Martin, Tobin, Hemian, Arzumian, Lasutis, Becco, Waz, and Brock. Good to have David Brock back on the field.
I'm going to Brock around the croc tonight.
He's been away for a while, awaiting some replacement pedal parts to arrive, which they have arrived. And he's eager to show us what he can do with the new hardware.
It's not how big the pedals are. It's how fast you push them.
I mean, it's not really either, to be honest.
Shut up!
And we are on board with the right-hand drive Bentley of Cliff Hemian, which is always a generally limiting factor of that damn car for a lot of people, that it is
Why
right-hand
is he
drive.
using that color? Shouldn't he be Clifford the big red car?
There is no real big red Bentley, though. That's the problem. Really, actually, Bentley is totally missing out. Oh, what is this? Tobin is coming to it. Messy at the back here. So we're off to a bit of a bad start, and I see some gaps forming. So some people are going to be in for a slap on the wrist here when we get around to the stewarding portion of this race, which will happen probably tomorrow. And we are off and heading down towards Eau Rouge and Radillon here to start off Spa-Francorchamps in the wet. Couple cars going wide, but it looks like everybody made it through relatively clean. That's good to see. Onwards to the Camel Straight. Matt Higgs battling with Dan French, and towards the inside there is William Murrah, as they are looking to break up the Porsche 1-2, but it remains for the time being. Higgs leading from French, Murrah, Wentworth, Letelier, Watt, Simmons, Magus, Burke, Riccobeni. So really no movement in the top 10 whatsoever.
Well, I mean, if you push hard enough.
Well, apparently they didn't.
Shake on, boy, there's a doings that transpire.
Unless that is a new livery that is in the game for the GPX team, Matt Higgs will be facing a reprimand. I don't recognize it.
Wow.
But it is clearly a GPX livery, so maybe, this is just one I haven't seen before.
Matt Higgs, you have been fined for 32 seconds for your participation in Livery Gate.
That being said, a little heads up on the livery change, even if it is a real one, would be appreciated, Higgs. So Higgs leading here early on. It's going to be very hard to overtake here. It's wet offline. There's going to be a lot of grip issues. And we're going to see some things happen, I imagine, here. We're probably going to see some mistakes.
Like spelling mistakes?
Speaking of which, I think we just saw one from Jake Keckley because he just dropped back to 22nd place, losing a couple of places. So I think the Mercedes may have had an adventure of sorts.
Did they take the Hobbits to Isengard?
They may have taken the Hobbits to Isengard. Dan French in second place for Dynamic Motorsports. The team that has had some really good moments this season, and I look forward to seeing what they can do in the future. In the background, Jeff Wentworth trying to make a move on William Murrah around the outside. I don't think that's going to succeed. In fact, Murrah escorts him to the edge of the track at La Source and very much aggressively maintains the position. As we pick up Guillermo Taylor, who has lost a spot to his teammate Benjamin Adamian. Oh, no, he's ahead of Adamian still. Okay. That's Adamian is the second R Motorsport Argentina car, the Tango crew.
Is it true that it takes 17 to tango?
I mean, apparently it only takes about 4, because there's only 4 Tango cars.
Oh, well, there you go.
I think there's only 2 in the field today. I don't remember seeing Juan Borji or... who is their 4th guy again? I'm drawing a blank.
Dave. Jim. Julio.
It's not Julio.
Gunther.
I can find out by looking at the team standings. It is Ruben Ciencio. That's the one. That's the other one that's missing.
The progenitor of the CNCO Music Factory.
I mean, if he is, he may be worth a lot of money. So you might want to be real nice to Ruben.
I got the power.
So Matt Higgs
news on the storefront of the ESR store.
Oh,
it's on the way. They're working on it.
It's on the way.
That's all I can tell you.
Store is in progress. If you want to know more, you probably got to talk to John Barker.
Yep, him and Bratton.
Barker tends to be the man who handles the website portion of the ESR content. Not really much going on in the top 10 yet. Things still very tight together. And we're one mistake away from like everything tipping off. So we'll see what happens. Silver standings at the moment.
Dry and safe out there. I don't think there's going to be any mistakes.
Silver standings at the moment. Dan French, Mika Watt, and Michael Magus on the podium. In the bronze category, it is Adamian, Cheney, and Cheney. So if Andreas wants to punch his ticket to the bronze trophy, he probably needs to move up a little bit from his current 4th place in bronze, 20th overall position. On board with Matt Higgs, the race leader. Yeah, I was looking this up earlier. Matt Higgs has actually taken 0 penalties in this series for like driving standards, which is stunning.
I'm gonna have to hand out at least 97 of them right here.
Mm-hmm.
Goes from first to last in the standings.
He did get that massive cut penalty at Monza, of course.
He was too greedy for the mozzarella sticks.
Indeed, but that's actually been his only penalty to date. Although it was perhaps the dumbest we've ever seen. Zach Martin moving up in the world, up to 18th place. Seth Cheney getting shuffled backwards. Andreas Lasudis also up a spot. And Lasudis leading a bit of a train there that has Seth Cheney, Hemian, and Christopher Becco all piled up in there. Keckley has got some serious problems. I think he's down to 24th place and dropping badly. I don't think he's comfortable in this wet weather setup.
Well, it's real easy. You put them big old paddler tires on so you don't get lost in the puddles, and then put water wings all around the car.
Zach Martin trailing Robert Arzumian, the second dynamic Porsche.
No, sir. I believe that's a Fiero.
It is not. The McLaren 720 Shadow Project livery. Zach Martin. Oh, mistake by Arzumian. And that is going to let him through in Stavlo. Zach Martin up into 17th place on a bit of a charge here. He's a little bit out of place, a pro driver this far down in the grid. I don't recall if he qualified this low. Let me take a quick look.
He qualified in 83rd place.
Zach Martin qualified for this race at 18th place, so he is a little bit down. Well, he's a little bit up now on where he started, but he did struggle in qualifying. Dan French is now kind of sucked back into this fight with the Mercedes of William Murrah and Jeff Wentworth, as Tobin escapes down the road a little bit, up to 1.7 second gap. We do have a pit stop here. Pit window will open with 25 minutes remaining in the race. And there are a couple of cars out there that might be looking to get that handled right now, because there's some guys that are going kind of slowly. Oh boy, Andrew Burke spinning on the Camel Straight.
Uh-oh.
I see Alexis stop behind him. He was trailing Michael Magus. This makes me think that contact between Burke and Magus has occurred.
You could probably just tell people.
William Murr goes down. Yeah, well, I can give away the fact that Andrew Burke totally getting a penalty for that, as he lost control of the car and tried to murder me.
Burke, I'll find you.
Not sure if he'll actually get a penalty for the contact. I think what he'll probably get a penalty for is the fact that he cut Eau Rouge to get the run on me, thus violating track limits in a pretty big way. As
Stop, you violated the law.
Jeff Wentworth also making a pass there on Dan French, who has gone from second down to fourth place. Now he'll have to deal with Marcel Letelier in the Nissan, which is quite strong in the wet, and Mika Watt behind them, as well as Max Simmons in the Lamborghini. So let's see where Burke and Magus have settled. Magus shown in 20th place, Burke in 21st place at the moment. They were both battling for a top 10 position, so a lot of people picking up big places there. Paul Riccobeni also may be caught up in it. He's down to 14th place. As we look at Trevor Cheney, up to 12th. I'm a real 11th. Somebody is moving very slowly there. That is Guillermo Martinez in the AF Corsa Ferrari, was running in 9th place. It will be tumbling down the order, though, as he was moving very slowly and had some hefty front end damage.
Probably hit a squirrel.
Possibly. I would think it would be something larger, though.
I know, them squirrels are pretty big. And I think these cars are made out of, like, literal tinfoil.
They're not made out of the sturdiest stuff. That is true.
Word on the street is that they make it out of that dust that they sweep out of the cobblestones at night.
Oh. That would be interesting.
They just push it together real hard.
So the top 7 are large and clear now after that incident between Burke and Magus has very much divided the field. Guillermo Taylor, Dave Nelson, and Trevor Cheney now up into the top 10. Tobin, Riccobeni, Martin, Arzumian, Adamian, Seth Cheney, Lasutis, Hemi and Magus, Becco, Burke, Keckley, Martinez. Martinez in the pit lane. So
did you say that Keck was from Berkeley?
No, Keckley.
Oh, my bad. Keckleen.
Cliff Hemian making an overtake of Andreas Lasutis off camera. So, congratulations, camera guy. But he is showing us Max Simmons looking for a move here on Mika Watt into Pouon. And Lexus hanging around the outside against the Lamborghini as they get closer towards Lafrange. And that will, I think, be it. I think Simmons has got it. He's got the inside line here for the Lamborghini. And he just needs to take control at Stavlo to make this turn a reality. And he does. Pick up Ayrton Tobin, running in 10th place. He is behind Trevor Cheney. It looks like it looks like maybe Dave Nelson has had a moment. Yes, he has. And has fallen down the order, because I was going to say there was a positional cock-up here. Nelson falling way down to 19th place, so something relatively major occurring there. Trevor Cheney very off the track there at Blanchimont.
Maybe he should try not to do that.
We head down to the bus stop chicane. Cheney still hanging on there, looking for a top 10 for an AM driver, a bronze driver. Always very impressive when that can happen. Riccobeni still in the mix there in the Lexus, as well as Zach Martin in the McLaren 720. The purple and black car.
Purple and black? How gauche. It's after Labor Day.
Oh, Seth Cheney is off at La Source. And he'll rejoin. That is behind Jake Keckley, I think.
Is it true that La Source used to be called La Radio Shack?
Might be. Seth Chaney heading through Eau Rouge. Waiting for a positional update on him. That is Keckley ahead of him. So that means Keckley is in 19th place. And in behind them is the Lexus of Michael Magus.
And is this where you run 3 guys off the road?
No, this is where I'm hopelessly unable to get the car to go fast because of the damage to the front end.
Well, maybe if you just push the back end harder, it would just compensate for the front end.
I will give some spoilers here. I'm carrying about 30 seconds of pit stop damage right now. I think it was 30. I think it came out to slightly over 30 seconds as Seth Chaney also probably carrying some damage as he goes off the track there. But you can see I can't keep up. And my
remember,
Lexus
kids, pit early and pit often.
So we've lost 2 cars so far. I see Guillermo Martinez is in the pit lane. And his race effectively over. If you have to make an out of window pit stop here, it's painful. We're down another car. I'm trying to figure out who that might be. I think it's Andrew Burke, who is one of our championship contenders, who appears to have ended his day. That might be something he regrets eventually. What is his?
He tried to end your day because he's a hooligan.
Yes, but then he ended his own day. What is
Karma?
Well, he does have a scratch result that carries points with a 14th place at Nürburgring, so I guess it's not the worst thing in the world. He can get a scratch result here and try and make it up at Silverstone. We'll see. But I think his championship chances are looking pretty bad as the pit window does open. William Murrah is the first into the pit lane. I expect we'll see Seth Chaney go in. His car is looking like it has a number of problems. Trevor Chaney is in the pit lane. See if Seth goes for another one or not. I can give the spoiler that Michael Magus will be hitting the pit lane. Yep, Seth Chaney in, Mike Magus in. So we have some early pit stops from the Mercedes crew. 3 Mercedes in total. And the Lexus of Mike Magus. Looking to get their pit stops out of the way here.
But what about the Daihatsu of Jeff Wentworth?
Well, he's not in a Daihatsu. He's in a Mercedes.
What? Why?
Because he is. Tom Waugh is also in the pit lane. His Porsche has not been going terribly well. So I suspect this is a damage influenced early stop. Not a lot of pit stop flexibility here because of how long the lap is. It's about a 2.5 minute lap around Spa in the wet. So you do have to make your call pretty in a relatively narrow band of laps as Paul Riccobeni tracks Ayrton Tobin for 7th place on track. David Brock also into the pit lane.
Back another one of those Brock locking beats.
William Murrah rejoins the track. The first of the pit stoppers to complete his lap, or his pit stop. And Ayrton Tobin heading through the lovely Belgian countryside here down towards the bus stop. Well, Blanchimont, then the bus stop. Riccobeni has lost a spot to Zach Martin. We completely missed that. Martin up into 8th place. Trevor Chaney rejoins. On board with Mika Watt in the Lexus. 4th place at the moment. Marcel Letellier down into the pit lane for Nissan. Mika has, of course, been absent for much of the season to date. I believe only making his return last round at Nürburgring, where he picked up a relatively solid P12. And is looking pretty good right now. He was in 7th place before the pit stops kicked off. I think that's probably about where he still is. But we'll see if he can maybe overcut some people and try and pick up some gaps. Although his main battles with Max Simmons, who is never someone really be overcut. Oh, one of the red Talk Sport Mercedes is either Trevor Chaney or Jake Keckley off the track there. I suspect Trevor Chaney, based on the fact that it is a lapped car, and Cheney is pitted, Keckley is not. Lasudas, Hemian, Adamian, Riccobeni, and are all into the pit lane, getting service. And there's probably about 2 laps left for the remaining cars to try to get down the pit entrance.
Or they will be summarily executed.
No, they'll just get a 130-second penalty.
I mean, same thing.
Be interested to see where Letelier comes out in relation to William Murrah, because that could be an interesting on-track battle. It was the two of them and Wentworth and French who are battling for podium positions. French, who we look at right now in the Dynamics Porsche. The mobile that we have seen John Spriggs run quite a bit, this particular Porsche livery, and now Dan French running it. Solid drivers all around.
Just how solid are we talking here?
Very. French is one of the more impressive silver drivers we've had in recent memory. And, of course, John Spriggs is very impressive in all ways. Mole mole! Robert Arzumian up into the top 10, although this is a temporary position. He still does need to make his pit stop. Dave Nelson in the background. He's actually pretty close to Guillermo Taylor, though, so he's in reasonably good shape. French and Higgs both hit the pit lane, so Max Simmons will take the lead. Will anyone pit after... Oh, Arzumian getting the bad end of Blanchimont there. Nelson with a run around the outside into bus stop and should be able to complete this overtake very easily. Arzumian takes this as a chance to get down into the pit lane, which is not a bad idea.
I hear that in some cultures, going to the pit lane is a sign of cowardice.
Not at all. It's a thing you have to do.
I hear that if you go to the pit lane,
have a look at Tom Waz battling with Mike Magus, Lexus V Porsche, and Magus absolutely making it happen. Waz getting some teleportation going on there, so maybe some lag issues for the Porsche driver. And Magus moving up into 19th place off of that. Whoa. Waz is really struggling in the wet here. I think him and Dave Brock are the two, and maybe Keckley are the 3 guys who just don't seem to be getting the wet weather set up all that correct here.
Was he not aware of the fluid dynamic situation?
He was, but maybe he was unable to come up with a suitable setup to handle the session. I still don't know how he manages to get Tom to appear as his windshield number short form, because it should be WAJ, but it's Tom. I have WAJ on the entry list, and he has somehow managed to supersede the entry list.
He probably just hacked. That's why he's in 20th place instead of 21st.
By the way, those who watch my onboard for this race will realize that I got platinum in this race. My rating went up to plat finally.
You, sir, are now diamond-encrusted molybdenum.
Which is weird. I didn't think I'd ever get platinum because my pace and why is my brain not working? My pace and competition ratings are so low because the competition, unfortunately, just takes place at times where I'm not really able to race, like the European-friendly times. Mika Watt in the pits along with Max Simmons. Very close together. In fact, if one gets their pit stop a little bit better, we could see a swap of places. Ayrton Tobin is the effective on-track leader now as we pick up a view of his rear. Zach Martin on his tail. Martin diving into the pits. This is a mistake. This is a mistake from Ayrton Tobin because he's only got 2 minutes and 12 seconds left in the pit window. He's not going to complete this lap before the pit window closes.
Well, I mean, if he goes fast enough.
That would be a really fast lap. Like a ridiculously fast lap to get around this track in 2 minutes and 10 seconds.
Go.
This is a huge mistake. He is the only one gambling on this. And I'm afraid we're going to see that bite him in the ass.
Ooh, you racer types are certainly adventurous. With this biting in the ass and all the position swapping that happens all the time.
But that'll be a 130-second penalty for Ayrton Tobin. Now, it could potentially work out if he just doesn't pit. If he's been holding enough fuel to make it all the way to the end of this race. Because a pit stop is about 30 seconds. But at the same time, that means he's going to be going the entire race distance on a single set of tires. Shouldn't be a huge issue, but it also means he's been carrying fuel this whole time that is weighing him down. And Tom was in 21st place in the Porsche, trying to hunt down the Aston Martin of Benjamin Adamian. Matt Higgs, second place. Effectively, you would think the leader. Let's see if we can get a gap here that will cover the penalty situation. Stop-go penalty for Mika Watt. No.
Oh, yes.
Mika Watt has been caught speeding in the pit lane, and that is a long pit lane to come and serve a stop-go penalty. So we pick up David Brock looking back at Watt. This is a blue flag scenario, which Watt will probably want to clear pretty quickly and then get into the pits to handle his business. Marcelo Letelier overtaking Watt. Anyways, that's a bit weird that Watt managed to get himself a stop-go penalty and actually lost a spot in the pit lane and came in right on the tail of Max Simmons and now finds himself like 7 seconds behind him. So that's a very bad pit stop from the Emile Frey Lexus racing team.
Is it true that in all future seasons of racing, pit lanes will be 19 kilometers long?
Oh, God. Please no. Please no. Bad news for Jeff Wentworth and William Murrow. They've dropped down to 7th and 8th place after their earlier pit stops. I'm going to take a guess and say there may have been contact between the two because I don't know how you fall that far back. They've gone from fighting for a podium position to fighting over, well, what is still a very good result, probably 5th place when Watts and Tobin's penalties are taken into account. But the day has taken a turn for them that is not positive. Guillermo Taylor, also big loser out of the pit stops, down to 13th place. Big winner in the pit stop exchange, Christopher Becco, up to 14th spot. Great pit stop from the Optimum Aston Martin crew. You could say that the Optimum crew gave a Optimum pit stop.
Perhaps with the correct amount of tireage, he could stick to the track like a gecko.
Max Simmons, a big winner in the pit stop exchange because, one, you've got the stop-go penalty of Mika Watt, who he's battling, and he also overtook Marcelo Letelier in the exchange, as well as Wentworth and Murrah. So very good. Oh, no. Tobin is in the pits. So not only is he going to be eating a 130-second penalty, he is going to pit. So this wasn't some kind of like gaming the system to avoid a pit stop. This was just a miscommunication apparently on the TalkSport pit window. So we pick up on board with Marcelo Letelier.
Speaking of pits, I have an ingrown hair on the inside pit of my elbow.
Oh. That sounds painful.
It's not comfortable. I'm going to be real honest with you, but I did squoze it with some tweezers this morning, so it should be all right. Now, that's been a medical update from the commentary booth.
I have no real medical updates myself.
How's your caffeine intake?
Normal. It's high enough to qualify for the payment from the study. Those who are unaware, my body does not naturally process caffeine at anywhere near a normal rate. Andreas Lasudis in the pit lane for a second stop. So I am on some caffeine breakdown pills, I guess is the best way of saying it.
Yeah, breakdown.
And they pay me to be a guinea pig. So, that's always fun. It's nice to know that we have large amounts of research money going towards breaking down caffeine for people in a post-COVID universe. I don't really know if I agree with this.
I mean, you jumped on that shit in the current COVID universe.
Yes, I did.
Well
Need
done.
the cash.
And is it true that they pay you in live kidneys?
No,
That's probably advantageous.
I don't need live kidneys.
Is it true that they pay
Live
you in
kidneys.
Dogecoin?
No. Marcel, they do not pay me in the Doge Van Dyer currency. No, thank you.
Did you not appoint you as the curator of WikiFeet pages?
Marcel Letelier getting very close to Max Simmons. Those who are unaware of the Doge Van Dyer stuff, check out Adeptus Ridiculous on YouTube.
Correct.
They have a whole anime thing about Doge Van Dyer. Tellier in the Nissan trying to get up some ground. Matt Higgs continues to lead the race. After, very off the track there. We did learn that the Eau Rouge track limits are not being properly applied. Since that was not stated before the race, everyone is getting a get-out-of-jail-free card for cutting Eau Rouge. The only exception is if someone cut Eau Rouge to get a run or complete an overtake on someone, because that is covered under the ESR charter as far as overtakes and basically fair play of overtakes is concerned. So Matt Higgs leading the way. Dan French is pretty solidly in second place. We still got a good battle between Simmons and Letelier over third, the final podium spot. Wentworth is going to be up into fifth place. There is the update. William Murrah also going to overtake. What will he serving a stop-go penalty? Maybe Zach Martin. Well, probably Zach Martin as well. We'll keep an eye on that. Yep, there we go. Martin up. Martin, by the way, caught up about 7 seconds there. That is most impressive. Dave Nelson also going to overtake him. Then Guillermo Taylor in ninth. Jake Keckley sporting a very beat-up bonnet on his Mercedes.
How come your boy French isn't winning this? Isn't this supposed to be Frenchy Chompy boys?
No, this is not even in French. This is not even in French.
Oh, well.
This is in Belgium, sir.
Shit. Why don't they just move it to France then?
You know what? It wouldn't be a bad idea because honestly, France has like no good F1 racetracks. They really could just say French Grand Prix at Spa-Francorchamps. Let's do this.
Or they could change it to Spa Flamochamps. The Flemmy boys.
Let's see. Is Spa-Francorchamps closer to the German or French borders?
Probably.
I'm consulting Google Maps.
Good old Google Maps. Way better than Apple Maps. Oh my god, don't use this.
Much closer to the German border, actually. Very close to the German border. Not terribly close to the French border.
Well, looks like France is just going to have to invade.
I mean, that has historically not gone well.
Probably.
Max Simmons still hanging on to the final step of the podium against Marcel Letelier. This is Marcelo really getting to stretch his legs. He's shown pretty well at Nürburgring and Monza, but he is right at the sharp end now. And some misfortune for some other people have opened the door for the Nissan, which is a strong wet weather car. Simmons with a bit of a block there into Lecombe. I wonder if that'll come across the steward's desk. Jeff Wentworth continues in fifth place. Dreams of a podium and a championship fading very quickly for him, as well as for William Murray and, of course, Andrew Burke. As Matt Higgs looks poised to take his fourth victory of the season, adding Spa-Francorchamps to the Nürburgring, Calami, and Laguna Seca. Murrah, for a brief time there, was coming back hard with wins at Imola and Monza, and Burke, of course, just a rock-solid podium streak until recently, a bad run at Nürburgring, and now a DNF here at Spa-Francorchamps. It looks like we've lost Andreas Lasudis from the race. So no Bronze Cup to be confirmed today, I think, if Lasudis is unable to score points.
I heard if he can't score no points, then they're going to throw him in a hole with 3 live Wolverines.
Mike Magus heading through Eau Rouge. trying to catch up with Seth Chaney there on his comeback run after early incidents with Andrew Burke robbed him of a possible top 10. Down in 16th place at the moment, a very slow-moving Jake Keckley up ahead. So that'll be a free spot, it would appear. Depends if he tries to hold it. Whoa! Very hard cut there by Seth Chaney. Not really sure why he did that. Kind of want to be extra smooth in the wet. And Keckley goes super wide side. Keckley is not fighting for positions here. It looks like his car is very messed up. And he's just trying to drag it home.
That looked about as smooth as Detroit Scotch.
Oh boy, that's not smooth at all. Ayrton Tobin, 21st place, but facing a 130-second penalty. I don't think that really affects his race right now because he's apparently quite a ways behind Trevor Chaney. Looks like he had a bad pit stop on top of his pit stop violation. There it is, 16 seconds, 17 seconds behind Chaney. And he's got 2 laps on David Brock. So presumably he will not actually be affected all that much by that penalty right now. William Murrah, 6th place. Bit of a cut of Eau Rouge there. Not too bad, though. Back to the battle for 3rd place. I'd like it if the camera could stick with this for a while, because it's the best battle we got going on here. It's not the only one. There is a good battle going on for 8th place between Taylor and Nelson. There is the fight that we are checking in on now, which is Christopher Becca with Robert Arzumian over 10th place. Cliff Hemian not too far behind that. Although, I'm not seeing Hemian there. What has happened to Cliff Hemian? I'm also seeing Becca shown in 11th place now. Did Hemian get him? Did Hemian get both of them?
He's got them both in a little jar on his bedside table.
Yeah, it looks like Cliff Hemian overtook both of them at some point. Interesting. So Cliff Hemian up into the top 10. So Becco and Arzumian are left to squabble over 11th place. I wonder if the two had contact. Riccobeni in 13th is just behind them, and we pick up Michael Magus, who is trying to run down Seth Chaney as well. Solid run for Christopher Becco. Shout out to him. Becco made his debut not too long ago, if memory serves. I want to say Monza, as I look for him on the... There he is. 26th at Monza, 25th at Nürburgring, and looking for an 11th place here. That's a considerable improvement. So shout out to Becco and the successful strides he is making here towards the end of the season. Doing well in the wet. Michael Magus running 15th place. He's got to be not particularly pleased with how this whole thing has gone.
Is that because of the attempted assassination?
I mean, that's a big part of it. Started 8th place and he's in 15th, so you can't be terribly happy when you're -7 spots on the day.
Well, it sounds like you need to just start running dudes off the road and get all the way back up to 8th place.
I don't think I have the speed.
Well, I mean, they got to come around behind you at some point and you just run them off the road. Boom, you're up 1 spot.
Also, the fact that he was looking to probably clinch the Silver Cup here, and probably not going to happen. Dan French, Guillermo Taylor, Cliff Hemian, Christopher Becco, Robert Arzumian all ahead of him. So he's only in, 6th place amongst the silver runners right now. So, by the way, a very good silver day, it has to be said. You had Big Mika Watt competing for a podium. You have Dan French up on the podium. Guillermo Taylor has shown a really good rate of pace. Michael Magus showed a really good rate of pace. Cliff Hemian has put together a very solid race. So this is one of the better silver class performances I think we have seen in some time from the ESR community.
How much time?
Quite a bit of time.
Damn.
Not a great day for the bronze category, though. They have struggled. Tom Waz has kind of been nowhere. Trevor Chaney was at one point doing quite well, but not so much now. And then you got Tom Waz, who struggled pretty much the entire day, as well as Seth Chaney, Benjamin Adamian, and the DNS for Andreas Lasudis and others.
Was he not aware of the effort he would have to put in?
We see Jake Keckley with a very damaged front end, running in 17th place still. Mika Watt is behind him by about 4.5 seconds in one lap. Can he make that up? I don't know. As we've lost David Brock from the race. Hopefully a technical failure. Oh, that is Watt right behind him, actually. So we don't have an updated gap there. It's down to 1.6 seconds. I think Watt will get him. What do you think, Byron?
I think perhaps that there is a chance that maybe he might be able to possibly do it.
Excellent. Tom Waz being trailed by Matt Higgs, but that's a blue flag scenario. Max Simmons has gotten a gap to Marcel Letelier of about 2 seconds. It's looking like he may be in for his first podium in a while. I know he's had ESR podiums in the past, so this is not a new feeling for him, but we have to go back to the ESR WB co-presented Saturday Super Series, where he won at Barcelona back in November to get his last podium. His last ESR only podium dates back to the ESR Multiclass Invitational Daytona Enduro race, which he took victory at back in September of 2020.
Dang.
7 wins to his name, 6 second places, and 13 third places on his race app resume in 126 starts. This is 127. Does have a tremendously poor 19% DNF rate, but that could mostly be chalked up to the fact that he is hot spotting off of his cell phone to do these races.
I would recommend using a satellite phone for best absolute garbage connection.
I mean, it's definitely a factor of just internet performance that can sometimes lead to some less than spectacular results in a sim racer's career. As Tom Waz allows Dan French through under blue flags. And Ayrton Tobin catching up with Waz. The issue for him, of course, is that 132nd penalty and the fact that the race is now over for him. Matt Higgs is your winner. 4th win of the season ahead of Dan French with his first ESR podium. Big congratulations to Dan French. Max Simmons comes across the line in 3rd place ahead of Marcelo Letelier, who was denied his first ESR podium. We await Jeff Wentworth. There we are. Wentworth in 5th place as the Porsches are. I like how the Porsches are excluding everyone else. No, you can't come over here. This is Porsche territory. William Murr in 6th place. Followed home. Zach Martin had a good run, making his way up from 18th on the grid to 7th in the race. Very solid run for the Shadow Project McLaren. Guillermo Taylor, Dave Nelson. Sorry, losing my voice. Guillermo Taylor, Dave Nelson, and Cliff Hemian will round off the top 10 by looks of it. And Andreas Lasudis actually did get back out on track, so he may have salvaged some points from a rough day at the office. There is Cliff Hemian in the Bentley. That is the most red Bentley that we have for a big red Clifford, unfortunately. Christopher Becco is solid 11th place, best result of his young career. Ahead of Robert Arzumian and Seth Chaney. Mike Magus, 18th place, or 14th place, ahead of Benjamin Atamien. And then it'll be Paul Riccobeni, Mika Watt, and Jake Keckley. So Watt did get Keckley and gets 17th place.
Was a meteorite.
I don't think it was. um, all right, let's get the scoring applied here, and Byron can give us his final thoughts for the race.
Like right now?
Yeah, I mean, I'm doing race app stuff, so like
Wow, you don't have this all pulled up ahead of time again?
No, I like to apply it so I can comment on the standings heading in.
My final thoughts for the race is that Mike Magus would have definitely placed first place if it wasn't for all those other racers.
I mean, this is true. If you eliminate all other racers from the category, I will do it. All right, so championship standings. Matt Higgs leads by 32 points heading into the season finale at Silverstone. Since he has a fourth place scratch result, it's going to be really hard to overtake him. But William Murrah is still mathematically alive, and so is Andrew Burke. No, Burke is mathematically out of it. And so is William Murrah. So actually, no, Matt Higgs, pending penalties, is your ESR 3D Speed Spring Series champion. 4 wins in 6 races. Very impressive run. William Murrah is in second, followed by Andrew Burke, Jeff Wentworth, Zach Martin, Michael Magus, Paul Riccobeni, Dave Nelson, Max Simmons, and Dan French. That is your top 10. In the Teams Championship, TalkSport OTL, not champions yet, but it would take a considerably interesting day for them not to take home the title ahead of GPX Racing. They're at 603 to 531 for GPX. Tech 1 is third on 497. Then it is Angry Panda on 485 and 475 for Send It Nation. Then we have the Bronze Cup, which is a tie. Wow. Andreas Lasutis came into here thinking about like maybe wrapping up the title. Instead, he enters Silverstone dead even on 148 points with Benjamin Adamian. Winner takes all. Interesting.
And the loser has to remove all the skin from their left butt cheek.
That would be uncomfortable. Diego Alonso is in third, but cannot take the title. So it will be an Argentine Bronze Cup, but will it be Andreas or will it be Benjamin? In the Silver Cup, Michael Magus leads the way despite having a rather weak day here, 80 points on the board. He is mathematically ahead of Dan French too far to be caught, but there is the matter of scratch results which are not being applied on this table right now. So that title is still alive because French's scratch result is a 0. Magus's is currently a 5-point effort. So it is actually a little bit closer than we think. But it would be very hard. Dan French is basically in the win it mode right now, and Magus only needs a top 5 silver finish to become the champion. Cliff Hemian is in third, followed by Jake Keckley and Ayrton Tobin. So bronze is still very much alive. The overall title has been claimed, and the teams and silver titles are pretty much wrapped up heading into Silverstone. But that means that the bronze boys, Andreas Lasutis and Benjamin Adamian, are the center stage guys. They got the spotlight on them.
Toad Cave.
Yeah, you guys are going to be feeling the pressure. I'm going to be talking about the bronze championship on commentary a lot at Silverstone. That's what this tells me. So, hope you guys enjoyed the race. Silverstone is the season finale. We have action coming up. Let me give you a quick rundown here of events coming up in the 3D, or not the 3D, but the ESR community. We also, of course, have in August the 9 hours of Nürburgring. Please feel free to check that out. And the big event we're pimping right now is the July 24th 3 hours of Nürburgring. Check that out as well. But upcoming, we've got the ESR July Hot Summer Racing on July 10th, followed by the ESR ACC Blancpain 2016 SGTC from Donington on July 11th. And then it is the kickoff of the Brands or the GT4 British Tour with the Brands Hatch Bash on July 12th. So get ready for that. Looking forward to seeing the GT4 action. A lot of new faces, including Antonio Santos, Freddie Avila, King ART, Guy. This guy literally signed up here named Guy. This is interesting. Stuart Bartosiak, as well as Neil and Mark Sutherland, who are slated to make their ESR debuts. It looks like a really good grid. So if you haven't gotten in on that, look up Jeff Wentworth on the ESR Discord. He is the man controlling that. Byron, do you have any final thoughts?
Hail Satan.